Hey folks, Dr. Groovy here, Scott Grove from GroovyMusicLessons.com. My first lesson after my spinal surgery, my lumbar fusion. I do not recommend it. It's not a beautiful thing. Okay, today I'm doing this lesson a little different than usual just to see if people like this. I'm going to do a very easy, quick lesson of this at the beginning, and then do backing tracks and slower explanation for people who need it after this, so some of you can get in and out of this really quick that are more advanced, okay? And those who want to take more time with it and get more in-depth descriptions and more in-depth licks can stick around, okay? So what we're doing here is in the key of C, so we have three chords, C, F, and G, okay? We're going to try to emulate a pedal steel guitar that is in C6, doing Western swing country music. Okay, so C, F, and G doing a sixth chord. Okay, the sixth chord here is going to be like an F chord, but moved all the way up so that your first finger is at the 8th fret on your E and B string. And we're going to add the note that makes it a sixth chord, which is an A. So that's going to give you at the 10th fret your pinky on the B string. Okay, then you take the whole thing and you can move it where you want, either to the 1st fret for an F and 3rd fret for a G. Okay, or you can go all the way up to where I like it for this particular key, all the way up to starting that chord off at the 13th fret and all the way up to the 15th for your G. Okay, so basically what we're looking at with this, again, is one of my favorite things that I have taught before, and it goes something like this. So it's that kind of a thing, but the difference is I'm going to add minor chords that are exactly the same as a C6. Why would they be exactly the same? Because they are. We've heard of relative minors before. This is where a relative minor is actually so relative that it is the exact same chord. And A minor is a C6. So when we're playing in C6 here, or any other key, you can play all your favorite minor licks over top of the chords. So very groovy in that respect. Okay, so for this first thing, when I'm doing it in regular key, so just the three chords I showed you, what I'm doing again is taking that F-shaped chord, and what is neat is playing one note at a time, I think, starting for the D string and going that kind of a thing. So playing one string at a time, letting them overlap each other, ringing. And to make a 7th chord, all you have to do is move the whole thing back 2 frets. So the whole chord moving back does not screw anything up. It just becomes C6 7th chord, if you will. Okay, now when we take that whole thing, and you don't have to play it my way, of course, you advanced players know that. If we take it all the way up to the F, okay, we can do same thing. Okay, that is doing the high strengths, or all 4 strings, going back 1/2 step or 1 fret. And I would suggest, because it's correct, to only go backward 1 fret on your 4 chord here. We did 2 frets. That's fine on the 1 chord and the 5 chord, because we're going to make the 5 chord a 7th also, just to show it to you. Okay, but up to the 4 chord, your F. Up to the 5 chord, did chromatically going up, so from the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th fret. Even though I went back to the F, that is considered a G6 7th chord. So G7 would be what you're kind of thinking in your head. And it works. Okay, so over C, F, and G. So the whole thing. I just started 1 fret behind the C6. What I did at the end are 2 minor chords. First one being your typical A minor triad. And then just a 1 finger minor chord from 16 to 17. Okay, so that's what it is for you excellent people and intermediates. Okay, let's go over the minor part real quick. This is where it gets cool. Okay, again, the minor part, relative minor, will be an A minor. We just simply go down 3 frets. So from C, go backward 3. 1, 2, 3, and that will tell you what chord you need to make a minor. So while we're playing C, we could play A minor. And don't worry, well, you might worry about A minor. Watch out hanging out with them, get you 15 to 20. If you understand that, you're old enough to know better. Okay, so I, in particular, in this key, like to voice it in the same type of area where A minor is going to actually, instead of right here in the open, which you can get at the 5th fret playing an A minor, and have an extra A, which is your 6th at the top. You can use that whole thing. Okay, you're going to use this the same way, thinking about this in your brain as, since we're in A minor now, you're going to think the 3 chords being A, D, and E, just like a regular 3-chord pattern would be. So you'll be looking for that. So you'd have your A minor, and then D minor, and then your E minor. Okay, so you can have D minor, okay, and so same thing. And if you're playing in A minor, and then go into D minor, or an E minor, okay, and back to your A minor, it all works over top of this whole C6 thing, because again, they are the identical chord. They both have exactly the same notes in it, no difference. Why are they called something different? Because they are, according to theory. Okay, so the minor, I like to use this one up here at the 12th fret, the A minor, just like this one. Bring it way up here. Now, you could do the exact same things as before. Again, A, D, and E, all minor chords. And of course, switch up between the C, F, and G, 6 chords, and the minor chords. You do it at your leisure suit, however you want to do it. What's cool about this and all of it, I think the minor parts have an advantage in the fact that you can have more notes. You get 5 notes instead of 6. I'm sorry, it's 5 notes instead of 4. If I could count, it would be a beautiful thing. Okay, so you actually can do groupings with your fingers, do the octaves, or do triads. pick apart different parts of the chords. Okay, so that's basically it for the quick lesson. You see what's going on and how every chord is going to be a relative minor. With your C, F, and G, it will be an A minor, D minor, E minor. Okay, so take that to the bank, because it's very, very cool, played again as Western swing. Okay, now we're going to head down and do the more intermediate to better than beginner parts and really break this thing down. Okay, and again with backing tracks. Catch you there. Okay, welcome to those who stuck around for the more in-depth version of this. I'm going to play a backing track, C, F, and G, and simply play the stuff I was playing before. Okay, I'm going to be using the C sixth, which again looks like just like an F chord, but you move it up so you have your first finger at 8 and 8 on the E and B. Make the rest of the chords so you got 8, 8, 9 on the G, 10 on the D. Then we're going to use our pinky right here on the 10th fret on the B string. Okay, very cool sounding chord. The thing I was doing before was, okay, so moving the whole chord back one fret and then back where it was. Okay, so they're all ringing together. Very important part of it if you want it to sound like the pedal steel thing. Again, everything is subjective, so if you want to, whatever, it's music, it's yours. By using that chord and then me going up, taking the whole thing up, I'm going to start referencing these as from, like, here's F, so I have the 13th fret. I'm going to start referencing these by the fret numbers that you actually bar 2 fingers on, just like on an F chord. You'd be at 1, then everything else is built off of it. Okay, so we'll be doing 8, 13, and 15. 8, 13, 15. Okay, is what I'm using for now. Here's the backing track with some of this on it, okay? Just the most basic version of this. So very, very cool. Again, like I said, I've taught this quite a few times, but it's the minor chords that are going to make people go, oh, how cool. And it opens up a whole new ball game. Again, like I said before, you can do any minor lead guitar licks that you know in order to break this up. Sometimes it's very cool to go ahead and do one solo, strictly the Western swing style and exactly how I just did it. And then follow it up with some parts of that, or just base it on that, and like I did in the beginning, play a little bit of your minor stuff. You're in C, we're going to end up in A minor, so I know A minor stuff here. So if I'm going, you just put in minor-y stuff. Again, we're going to do minor chords completely in place of these 6 chords. Again, they are identical in every way. Okay? So, to play these, again, shorter version, or longer version, I should say. I really should say, and I'm not editing. Again, I'm going, and then when I reach the high E string, I'm going like that, down 2 frets. And sometimes I give it some help. If you're not using a compressor and a volume pedal like I'm doing to get more sustain, you might need to help the chord from dying out by the time you have to go down 2 frets by going. Again, play however much of the chord you want. If you want to go, cool. If you want to, or play it with fingers, you know. Okay, be creative. Play every other string, but with your fingers. That's what I just did there. And again, when we go to play the minor chords, most of the time we're going to have 5 notes to choose from, so that will make a lot of this stuff very cool. We get octaves. And you could put 2 notes together, 3 notes together, whatever. And when we do our octave part of this stuff, minor octave stuff that you know, or just do C stuff or C6 stuff. All the notes are going to be here. The thing that makes a sixth chord again is an A on top of all the C stuff, you know. Okay, so leaving an A in your scales or what have you, your lead licks, is perfectly okay. Leaving the G from the regular C chord is perfectly okay, because the backing track has just a G within the C chord. Okay, so we're playing against that, and everything is fine. The whole band, a 10-piece band, can all be playing C major, and you play C6. You have 1 note different between the G and then the C. They're only 2 notes apart, and it works. Okay, it's just like having a pedal steel player. That's the way a pedal steel sounds. And again, with Western swing, it definitely comes in handy there. It makes it, makes it or breaks it. Okay, so from here is explaining the wow factor in the minor stuff. Okay, again, we did C, F, and G, typical 3-chord country stuff. Same thing as in the long or the short version at the beginning of this. When we go to the minor, we're going backward 3 frets from C that we are playing. Okay, so if I'm playing C way up here on the low E string at the 8th fret, we need to go backward in order to find what note and what chord is going to be our relative minor. Okay, so we're at C, we just go back 3 notes. We don't count C again. We go back 1, back 2, back 3, and that is A. Can you play that over top of the C6? Of course, it's a huge chord. Be careful with the low notes, they get kind of muddy in there. If you can play them all the way up here, more power to you. It just gives you higher notes with your low E string. It's almost not reachable up here. So, but if you're playing in G, where E minor would be your relative minor, very easy. Okay, so you have your low notes that are up higher, and you have a lot more choices there. Okay, so again, we went backward 3. Now back 3. 1, 2, 3. Now the rules are the same in regular music. Your 3 chords are going to be the typical 3 chords if you're in the key of A. Okay, so we think of it as such. So like A, D, E. If all else fails, do that. Okay, but again, every single chord, those 3 anyway, I know every single chord, they're all going to be minor because they're going to be played over top of the 6th chord, and being minor, they will have to match up exactly. So again, they are exactly a 6th chord. But remember when placing your chords around that it is A, D, and E. So you have the A minor at the 5th fret. You have A minor, you can just do this part of it. Okay. You can do the part that really screams at you, way up here at G string 14, 13B, and then high E string at 12. Okay, so it's the G string that names this, so that is an A note, so we're in A. You can do the exact same things, and then we just bring it down so that the D is on the G string, so we can tell where things are at. Up to E. Okay, and what I had done earlier was I had went from that A minor, because I had played C6 for the ending. I just did 2 A minors, okay? But again, they're the same as sixths. So at the end of a song, it's cool to put or down the other way. So all I did way up here, since I already showed you, was did the minor chord. This one here. I just did it an octave higher and only played the high 3 strings. So those are all in the 17th fret. I could have added the lower. But it's a little difficult right on those frets if you're doing a Strat style guitar. It just works out that way. Okay, so if we are doing this, again, we can mix up notes every other string. Okay, you don't have to do, okay, this whole thing that I'm doing. It doesn't have to be that. It's music again. Whatever floats your boat, tickles your pickle, and other rhyming nasty things. But it's just something that works and gives you a sense of Western swing and gives you a place to start playing this stuff. Okay, so again, we can play different places. I'm going to do the A minor here, D minor straight down, E minor, okay, very different sound, but why is it different sounding if they are the exact same notes? It's because the notes are actually in a different order is all. Okay, where you would have, all these are is E, C, and A. Whether it's a minor or whether it's a 6th chord, those are going to be your C6 or A minor chords. See, only 3 notes in there. Okay, they're just arranged in different order. So that's it. So playing those to D minor. Minors, I start getting kind of jazzy flavored, which is kind of cool because you switch up the whole feel of the thing. But if you put 2 together, the C6, okay, and switching between the C6 and the A minor, okay, it can be very cool. Maybe not directly right away, but going from like C6 and then going to D minor instead of going to F6. So here's C6, then going to D minor. okay, as the relative minor to the F6. Okay, so that was switching them up all over the place. Okay, and that's the part I want you to get used to, because once you actually start playing lead things, the minors are really cool to play over. Again, A minor, or okay, you can play over top of that. And your regular notes in C major, or you can do the add in the one A note. It's in the C major scale. That's why it works. Okay, so all your typical C licks, but you can hang out on the A where normally you would hang out on the G. But you can still do that. Why? Because both are valid. You're playing in C, okay? And you can play all the minor notes from the A minor. So that's the basic overall premise of the lesson, is to teach you that you can play everything from both chords back and forth. Okay? So here goes the intro exactly as I had done it at the beginning of this part, with the C6, F6, and G6. And then I'll change it to the very simple part of this minor, and this minor, so the A, D, and E minor. All basic, just to show you this in context. Okay, let me get some volume. Here we go. Again, all sixths, and second time around, all minors. Cool. Got a bad chord. Imagine that. That was a cheap Fender chord this time instead of my good ones. Okay. And plus, I'm running wireless here in the room, so go figure. Why? Because I can. All right. So those are the two. Again, the position of the minors is crucial to what you're trying to achieve. Again, the A minor's up here. Again, this here can be this minor. The whole version of that one. Again, you have if you are playing with a pick, you can just simply do two notes together and do them randomly apart from each other. Go for the low ones, go for the high ones. Okay, so just whatever part of it, and then the rest of it, a lick that you know. Again, it's all you. And if you want to go to the D minor, okay, so just same as you would do your D minor here. Just do it up here, so it would be basically almost the same as your A minor. D minor, which, if you need to know it, on the G string on down, we're going to look at 14, 15, and 13. And then we know we can just simply chromatically, fret by fret, go up. Sorry. Back to our A minor. Okay. So again, your A minor, D minor, over the place. And again, down here and other places that you can play your A minors. Okay? And wherever you do, again, your licks. Okay, that's your really high A minor licks. Okay, whatever little parts of that stuff you want to throw in, great. And again, your C scales, licks, whatever, and rest on the note you choose, but it becomes very flavorful if you end on an A. Okay? It's what gives it that sixth sound. It's a sick sixth. It's the Sixth Sense. That's a movie, I think. Okay, so that's basically what is going on here. Again, just showing you the minors that you can use in place of, or along with is even better. This type of stuff. If you find yourself with just wanting to change the flavor of a groovy country song, if you go into a swing feel, everybody's going to follow, especially when they sound as groovy as this, and if you are very confident in playing these easy things. Again, just simply remember the 1-4-5 pattern, whatever pattern the song is, but for now, while practicing, do that. Do the 1-4-5. I will give you this backing track to just kind of jam along with here in C. Of course, play in every key, because some of these other keys, I think, just sound a lot better because you can reach some of them a lot easier. And G sounds really cool. Okay, because you get a lot of extra places to go. And then you have your E minor, which would lend you to E, A, B now. So you got E minor, A minor, B minor, and again, jazzier sounding because they're minors. And again, makes no sense why it sounds jazzier, because again, they are the exact same three notes. So it's just a mind funk. Had to get that in and the funk. Okay, so there's what we have. Hope you dug the lesson. You guys all be groovy and experiment, experiment, experiment. And here comes a backing track that I was letting go for a while. And we'll let this do a few minutes, okay? So enjoy. Okay, keep on practicing, and I'll catch you soon for another amazing lesson. Groovy out.